I unlocked the front door and stepped in, expecting the warm smell of home, the sound of Emily humming in the kitchen. Instead, there was silence. "Emily," I called, my voice higher than I meant. Nothing. My briefcase hit the floor with a dull thud. I shrugged off my coat and froze. On the counter, a coffee cup sat, still steaming but not mine. Her handwriting on a sticky note caught my eye. "Gone out. Back soon." I frowned. She never left a note. Not ever. "Hey," a familiar voice said behind me. I spun around. "Ethan, my twin. You're back early." His grin was too casual, too knowing. "Ethan, what are you doing here?" I asked, forcing calm. He shrugged, leaning against the doorframe. "Just helping Emily with some things. You know, making sure the place isn't a disaster while you're away." I swallowed, uneasy. "Since when do you help with house stuff?" Ethan waved it off. "Been coming by for a while. She likes having me around. You were gone for 10 days, had to fill in." I tried to keep my voice neutral. "Right. Fill in. Okay." There was something off. The way he knew where everything was. The way he moved like he owned the place. Like he'd been here. Always. "I thought you'd be working late tonight." Emily's voice came from the hallway. She appeared in her sweater, hair tied back. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Back from your trip?" I said, trying to mask tension. "Yes." "How was it?" Her tone was distant, polite. "Good. Busy. You didn't leave a note." She glanced at Ethan, then down. "Oh, I did. Maybe you missed it." I shook my head, uneasy. "No, I saw it. You never leave notes." She laughed softly, almost nervously. "I guess I thought you'd be busy." I glanced at Ethan. He raised an eyebrow, smirk teasing the corners of his mouth. My chest tightened. Something was wrong, but I couldn't put my finger on it. "So, dinner?" I asked. Emily shrugged. "I'm not hungry yet. You can eat if you want." "Alone?" I asked. "Yes." Her voice was clipped. She walked away, leaving me with Ethan's smirk. I dropped on a couch. "You've been here alone with her?" "Maybe," Ethan said lightly. "We've all got to survive somehow." I clenched my fists. "Don't play games." "I'm not," he said. "Relax. You've been working too much anyway. Let someone else handle things for a change." I wanted to scream. "Handle things? Ethan, this is my life, my house." He leaned closer, voice low. "I know. That's why I'm careful." I froze. "Careful? Careful how?" My heart pounded, every instinct screaming that something was off. I backed away. "Emily, come here. Now." She appeared again, hands on her hips, expression calm. "What's going on?" "Nothing," I said. I stopped. How could I explain this? That I felt like my twin had crept in my life while I was gone? That my wife didn't seem to notice or care? Ethan chuckled quietly behind me. "I think he's having one of those moments. You know, where reality feels weird." I spun around, voice low and dangerous. "You've been here the whole time, haven't you?" Ethan grinned. "Maybe. Maybe not. You're imagining things." I sank into the couch, chest tight, mind racing. My perfect life, my wife, my home, everything I trusted, felt like a lie. Ethan's smirk and Emily's distant eyes screamed betrayal, but I had no proof. Not yet. And that thought alone made me furious. I realized then that something had shifted. My life, the one I thought I owned, it was no longer mine. I sat at my laptop, staring at the screen, trying to ignore the pit in my stomach. Another email from Ethan popped up, addressed to me, but the content was strange. "I sorted the Henderson files today, just like you always do. Thought you'd want the summary before," Emily asked. I froze. How does he know I handled the Henderson files? My fingers hovered over the keyboard, trembling. "Hey, what's wrong?" Emily's voice called from the kitchen. "Nothing," I said quickly, shutting the email. "Just work stuff." She didn't look convinced. "You look tense." "I'm fine." "Really?" I said, forcing a smile. Ethan's laugh echoed behind me. "You're definitely not fine, brother." I whirled around. "How do you know?" He leaned casually against the doorway, arms crossed. "I can tell. You're easy to read. Always have been." I clenched my jaw. "Don't act like you know everything." "You don't." He smirked. "Maybe I do. Maybe I just notice what you overlook. Like how Emily's emails are getting shorter. Or how she leaves the coffee pot full instead of emptying it." I blinked. "You've been watching her?" "Not exactly. More like paying attention," he said smoothly. I sank into the chair. My mind raced. Every little thing he mentioned sounded like proof. Or paranoia. Maybe both. Emily appeared behind me, folding laundry. Are you two arguing again? No, I said quickly. Just talking. She nodded, not meeting my eyes, and left the room. My chest tightened. Why isn't she looking at me the way she used to? I turned to Ethan. Why are you here? Really? I mean it. What's your deal? He smiled that irritating grin. Relax. I'm just helping. You know, family stuff. Family stuff? Or messing with my life? I shot back. Call what you want, he said. But you should be thanking me. I save you from mistakes all the time. You just don't notice. I leaned forward, voice low. Like what? Tell me one thing. I couldn't handle myself. He tapped his chin. Okay. Remember last week when you forgot to lock the garage? Emily mentioned it to me before you got home. Could have been messy. I froze. She mentioned it to him? Why? Why would she even? I don't understand. You'll understand, he said softly, smirking. Eventually, I wanted to scream, but instead I asked, who else knows about this stuff? Marcus? He's been around a lot lately. Ethan raised his eyebrows. Marcus? Loyal friend. Helped keep things smooth. You know how people can be... I rubbed my eyes. Stop talking in riddles. You're making it worse. He shrugged. I like to keep things interesting. Frustrated, I left the room, pacing. My mind kept returning to the little things I'd ignored. The missing emails Emily never mentioned. The receipts that didn't match my purchases. Everything pointed to him. Then I noticed a photo on the hallway table. My heart stopped. Ethan and Emily, smiling, arms around each other, the background our living room. My hand shook as I picked it up. I turned to Ethan, voice shaking. What is this? He didn't answer at first. Then, with that same calm, smug grin, he said, Memories. From the other day. You wouldn't understand. I stared at the photo, feeling my blood run cold. My wife, my life, my trust, all of it seemed like a lie. I wanted answers, but I didn't know where to start. Ethan's laugh cut through my thoughts. Relax, brother. Don't go crazy just yet. You've got 10 years to figure out what's really yours. I wanted to punch him. Instead, I sank into the couch, mind spinning. The perfect life I thought I had, it was crumbling, and I couldn't tell if it was him, her, or both. I sat on the edge of my bed, staring at the photo of Ethan and Emily. My hands trembled, and I felt a strange mix of rage and disbelief. I couldn't stop thinking about how long he'd been doing this, slipping into my life step by step. Damn it, I muttered. My phone buzzed. Liam. I answered immediately. Hey man, you sound tense, Liam said. I don't even know where to start. I admitted. It's Ethan. He's everywhere. Even Emily. I stopped, not sure if I should say it out loud. Take a breath. Slow down. What's happening? I ran my hands through my hair. Do you remember when we were kids, how he always stole the spotlight? Liam chuckled softly. You mean every talent show, every test, every stupid thing? Yeah, I remember. He loved being the golden twin. That's putting it mildly, I said bitterly. He'd take credit for things I worked for, make it look like I didn't exist. You mean like in the science fair? The robot? I grimaced. Exactly that. I spent weeks building it, Liam. Weeks. And he got the award, the photo, all the praise. And Mom and Dad didn't see it. They never saw it. Liam was quiet for a moment. Sounds like nothing's changed. I felt my chest tighten. It's worse. He's living as me. Emily. She doesn't even notice. I'm looking at proof, Liam. Photos. Messages. Emails. He knows things only I should know. It's insane. Liam's voice was calm, grounding. Okay, let's think this through. Are you sure it's him? Not paranoia? No, I'm not paranoid. I can't explain it all, but I know it. The patterns. The way he moves, the way she reacts to him. It's the same as when we were kids. He's always manipulating. Manipulating? Liam said slowly. Sounds like classic Ethan. But this sounds bigger than just being a jerk. I think it's identity theft, I said, voice tight. Like, he's stealing my life. My wife. My work. Everything. There was silence. Then Liam said, Man, that's heavy. You need proof. Step by step, calm and methodical. Don't let him see you lose it. I know, I said, but it hurts. It's the same thing all over again. Only now it's adult stuff. Real life. Not a robot contest. Not a school play. He's taking me over entirely. You've got this, Liam said. Remember how we used to plan pranks on him? You're smarter than he is. You just have to think. One step at a time. I laughed bitterly. Planning pranks is one thing. Reclaiming a life is something else entirely. Still, he said, don't forget. You're not alone. You got people who see through his crap. Me, for one. I smiled faintly. Thanks, Liam. I keep remembering the little things from the past. How he smiled when I failed. How he whispered lies to everyone, making me look bad. And now, it's like he's perfected it. 10 years, Liam. 10 years I didn't see it. You're awake now, he said. That counts. Now we figure out what to do next. But first breathe. Don't let him get inside your head. I ran a hand over the photo again. Ethan's smug grin burned into me. I could see it now. Patterns from the past, repeated over and over, magnified into this nightmare. Liam, I think this is bigger than jealousy, I said. It's not just him trying to win. He's replacing me, and I don't know if I can stop it without everything falling apart. You can, Liam said firmly. You just have to be smarter, faster, and don't underestimate yourself. You've survived him this long. I hung up, my mind racing. Childhood memories, past betrayals, they all clicked together. This wasn't about old rivalry anymore. It was about my life, my identity, and I knew, deep down, that if I didn't act, I'd lose everything I'd ever cared about. I found Ethan in the study, flipping through a file like he owned the place. My chest tightened. Ethan, I said, my voice sharper than I meant. He looked up slowly, smirk curling on his lips. Ah, you're awake. I was wondering when you'd show up. Cut the act, I said, stepping closer. I know what you've been doing. I know about Emily, the files, everything. He leaned back in his chair, hands behind his head. You make it sound so dramatic. Why are you so worked up? Worked up? I trusted you. I trusted my own brother, and you. I stopped, voice cracking. You've been living my life. Ethan chuckled softly. Relax. It's not like anyone's dead. Yet. I froze. Yet? Don't threaten me. I'm not threatening, he said calmly. I'm just pointing out reality. You go public, you make a scene, and you lose more than me. Think about that. I clench my fists. You can't intimidate me. I'll expose you. Everyone will know. He raised an eyebrow. Everyone? Like Emily? She's loyal, you know. Or maybe she's just confused. Either way, making noise won't help you. I felt my stomach drop. Confused? Loyal? He made it sound like Emily had already chosen him. Speaking of her, I turned. Emily. She appeared in the doorway, hands fidgeting with her sweater. What's happening? Are you two arguing again? No, not arguing, I said, trying to stay calm. Ethan, explain yourself. Now, he smiled at her. Just clearing the air, Emily. Your husband thinks I've overstepped. Emily looked at me, tilting her head. I don't know. Maybe he's right. Maybe you've been overreacting. My heart shattered. Overreacting? I caught you living my life, Ethan. And you. He waved a hand. I think you need to calm down. Emotions cloud judgment. I felt my anger surge. You're impossible. Always have been. You manipulate everyone, even her. Ethan leaned forward, voice low. Brother, I didn't manipulate. I helped. You were absent, distracted. I just stepped in. I shouted. You stole everything. My wife, my work, my life. Emily looked at him, almost defensively. I don't think he meant it like that. I turned back to Ethan. See? She doesn't even see it. She doesn't notice. How long has this been going on? He shrugged, calm, untouchable. Longer than you think. 10 years, maybe more. You were too busy focusing on, well, whatever it is you do. And I filled the gaps. I felt my stomach twist. 10 years. 10 years of subtle lies, manipulation, and now Emily, my wife, unaware, almost siding with him. You think this is funny? I demanded. He chuckled. Funny? Not at all. I'm just careful. You're finally realizing the truth. That's all. I can't do this, I said, voice shaking. I can't just sit here while you. He raised a finger, stopping me. Then leave. Walk out. But remember, if you make noise, you'll lose everything. Think before you act, brother. I stared at him, chest tight, humiliated, angry, broken. Emily looked at me, unsure, conflicted, and I realized how deep this went. My own wife didn't trust me fully in this moment. I turned, barely able to meet her eyes. I need air. She said nothing. Ethan's smirk followed me out the door. Outside, I drew a shaky breath. Humiliation and rage battled in my chest. 10 years of subtle betrayal. 10 years I didn't see it. And now, I had no plan. No clue how to fight back. Just the bitter, hollow ache of betrayal and the smoldering seed of revenge. I knew one thing for sure. I wouldn't forget this. Not ever. I shut the door to my apartment and leaned against it, breathing hard. The anger from earlier still burned, but now it mingled with something heavier. Helplessness. 10 years of my life, quietly taken, and I had no idea where to begin fixing it. My phone buzzed. Liam, you alive? Or did Ethan break you? He joked. Alive? I muttered. Barely. I'm thinking. I can't just confront him. Not yet. Good, Liam said. You need a plan. Let him underestimate you. That's the only leverage you've got. I ran my hands over my face. I don't even know where to start. He's in everything. My files, my life, my wife. I can't tell what's real anymore. Start small, Liam said. Track the obvious stuff first. Documents, emails, money. Anything he could be manipulating. I nodded. Yeah, that makes sense. Hours later, I was on my laptop, digging through old files, comparing passwords, email threads, bank statements. Every corner of my life fell invaded. And then it hit me, a series of shared documents I didn't recognize, permissions given to someone else. Ethan. I clenched my fists. Damn it. A ping interrupted my thoughts. Sophie. My colleague. I answered immediately. Hey, are you free to chat? I found something weird in the Henderson Project files, she said. Yeah, come over, I said quickly. Sophie had no idea, but she might be holding the evidence I needed without knowing it. When she arrived, she looked cheerful, unaware of my mood. You look like hell, she said. I feel like hell, I muttered. Listen, I need your help. Do you have any access logs for the files? Like, who's been editing what? Sure, she said, typing quickly. Why? Just something seems off. I think someone's pretending to be me, editing things behind my back. Sophie raised an eyebrow. Someone? You mean like a hacker? Maybe, I said. Maybe someone close. I can't explain everything yet. She nodded. Okay, I'll pull it up. But be careful. You look exhausted. I've been awake for hours, I admitted. Can't sleep. Everything's a mess. She frowned. Want me to stay? I shook my head. No, just the logs. That's enough. After she left, I stared at the data. Whoever had access to these files wasn't just curious. They knew exactly what to take, what to hide. Everything pointed to Ethan. My twin. My brother. I sank into my chair, mind racing. I could go public. Expose him to Emily, my boss, everyone. Make him pay. But would that fix anything? Or would it just make me look paranoid, desperate? I dialed Liam. I think I have proof, I said. But if I confront him now, it could backfire. He's too smart, too cunning. He knows how I think. Exactly, Liam said. That's why you wait. Plan. Use what you know. Play him at his own game. I leaned back, breathing slowly. I hate this. I hate having to be careful, having to watch every step I take. It's exhausting. You're stronger than you think, Liam said. You've survived 10 years under his shadow. You can handle this. I stared at the ceiling. 10 years. 10 years he had manipulated everything, subtly, perfectly. And now, finally I was awake. I couldn't rush it. I needed patience, precision. One wrong move, and everything, my reputation, my life, Emily, could be lost. I made a decision then. No rash moves. No yelling. No public confrontation. I would gather evidence, track every move, and strike only when I had total control. Ethan had underestimated me before. That would end. I closed my laptop and took a deep breath. Step 1. Understand the full extent of the damage. Step 2. Reclaim what was mine. Step 3. Make him regret every moment he thought he could replace me. And this time, I wouldn't fail. I sat in the dim glow of my laptop, fingers hovering over the keyboard. Every keystroke felt heavy, like I was digging into someone else's life, someone who had stolen mine. Any luck? Liam's voice buzzed over the speaker. I found some things, I admitted, showing him a string of logins and files Ethan had accessed. It's subtle, almost invisible unless you know what to look for. Sounds like him, Liam said. Clever bastard. I shook my head, running a hand through my hair. Clever doesn't cover it. He's been living as me for years. Emails, meetings, even messages to Emily. He's crossing lines I didn't know existed. Then what are you waiting for? Liam asked. Expose him. I can't yet. Not publicly. I need solid proof. Something undeniable. I scrolled through a thread of company emails. My stomach twisted. There was Ethan's name hidden in CC fields, sending updates under my identity. Every project, every client interaction he'd touched. This is it, I whispered. This proves it. Liam exhaled slowly. Good. Now don't make a move without thinking. Patience, brother. You have to control the narrative, not him. I nodded. I know. I want it done yesterday. A soft knock pulled me from the laptop. Sophie stood there, holding her tablet. You called? Yes, I said quickly, gesturing her in. I need help. Can you check the access logs for the Henderson files? See who's been editing them over the last few months? She glanced at me, suspicious. Why? Did someone break in? Something like that, I said. Just be thorough. I don't want to miss anything. She nodded. Got it. I'll compare the timestamps to the IP addresses. If anything looks weird, I'll flag it. Thanks, I said. She smiled briefly and left. I felt a mix of relief and guilt. She had no idea she was giving me leverage against my own twin. Later, I ran into Emily in the kitchen. She was making tea, her movements slow, thoughtful. Hey, I said, you've been quiet lately. Everything okay? She paused, stirring her cup. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I don't know what's real anymore. I froze. What do you mean? Just things don't add up. I can't explain it. Maybe I'm imagining things. My heart jumped. She's noticing cracks. Emily, if something's bothering you, tell me. Please. She looked at me, hesitating, then shook her head. I'm not sure. Something feels off. I wanted to pull her into my arms, protect her from Ethan, from everything, but I couldn't. I had to play this carefully. That evening, Liam and I regrouped over video call. Show me everything, he said. I laid it all out, the emails, the logs, the files Ethan had touched. He's been impersonating me professionally and personally. I can prove it. Liam nodded slowly. Perfect. That's what you need. Concrete evidence. Don't let him sense your anger. He thrives on that. I know, I said, teeth clenched. But every time I see it, I can't help feeling satisfied. Like he's finally vulnerable. Good, Liam said. Just don't let it consume you. You want him exposed, not you destroyed. I leaned back in my chair, staring at the screen. Ethan's digital footprint sprawled across my life. His arrogance was visible in every timestamp, every forged email, every fake message to Emily. Finally, after hours of cross-checking, I found it, undeniable proof. Ethan had been living as me in several important contexts, even signing my name for high-level meetings. He had built a shadow empire of my life, and now I held the key to dismantle it. I exhaled, feeling a cold rush of satisfaction mixed with guilt. I was no longer helpless. I had the leverage. And the next steps, I would take them carefully, deliberately. This wasn't just about revenge. It was about reclaiming everything that was mine. And this time, I wouldn't let him slip away. I stared at the ceiling, mind spinning. Every piece of evidence I had against Ethan sat open on my laptop, yet I couldn't shake the hollow ache in my chest. Revenge should feel satisfying, but all I felt was exhaustion and guilt. A knock at the door pulled me back. Emily. She stepped in quietly, holding a mug of tea. Hey, can we talk? Sure, I said, sitting up. What's on your mind? She sat across from me, shoulders tense. I've been noticing things. Small things. Emails you didn't send, calls you didn't make, details you forgot. Or at least I think you forgot. I felt my stomach drop. Emily, what do you mean? I'm not sure, she admitted. It's like, I don't know who to trust. Sometimes I think I'm imagining it, but other times, she trailed off. I clenched my fists. Sometimes it's Ethan, isn't it? Her eyes widened. I don't know. I want to trust you. I really do. But something feels off. I lean forward. It's him. He's been pretending to be me. Living as me. Emails, meetings, everything. I have proof. She looked shocked, then uncertain. Proof? Are you sure? Yes. I snapped. I've been tracking him for weeks. He's been manipulating things to make me look incompetent, distant, maybe even unreliable. And you didn't notice because he's subtle. Too subtle. Emily bit her lip. I didn't realize. I've been feeling weird, but I thought it was me overreacting. I ran a hand over my face. It's not overreacting. He's a master manipulator, Emily. 10 years. 10 years he's been slowly replacing me. And you, I swallowed. You've been emotionally closer to him than me sometimes. She flinched. I didn't mean to. He's always there, smiling, helping. I didn't know. I shook my head, heart pounding. That's exactly what he wanted. Every little step he took was to make you feel closer to him, to make you forget me. And it worked in ways I can barely accept. Tears welled in her eyes. I don't want to have been part of this. You weren't, I said, softer now. It's him. It's always been him. I've been so consumed with catching him, with proving him wrong, that I didn't notice how it was affecting us. Emily looked down, stirring her tea. Do you hate me? I laughed bitterly. Hate you? No. I'm angry, yes. At him, at myself, at the situation. Not at you. I love you, even if part of me feels like he's stolen you. She looked up, voice trembling. I love you too. I need to see the truth clearly. I need to trust again. I nodded, but inside, doubt gnawed at me. Could we ever trust each other fully again? Could I forgive the subtle betrayals, the emotional distance I hadn't noticed? A ping on my laptop interrupted the moment. Ethan. I glanced at the screen. A new email, signed as me, sent to Emily about a dinner he arranged. My chest tightened. He's still doing it, I muttered. Emily looked at the screen, confused. Who? My brother, I said. He's been manipulating everything. Even you. He's a genius at this, and I can't let him continue. She reached out, touching my hand. We'll figure it out. Together. I swallowed hard. Her words should have comforted me, but I couldn't shake the anger and obsession gnawing inside. I wanted to expose Ethan completely, make him pay for every lie, every stolen moment. And yet, I knew it had to be precise, careful, methodical. I sat back, staring at the laptop, thinking about the emails, the logs, the manipulation. The emotional toll was brutal. Revenge might be necessary, but I had to survive it too, or I'd lose everything I cared about. Emily squeezed my hand. We'll get through this. I nodded, though my thoughts were already racing. Plans, evidence, traps. Ethan had underestimated me once. I wouldn't let it happen again. This was bigger than revenge now. It was survival, and it was personal. I paced in my apartment, heart hammering. Today, everything changed. I had Sophie's logs, Liam's advice, and my own careful notes. The pieces were in place. All I had to do was act. Are you ready? Liam's voice crackled over the speaker. I have to be, I said. I've planned every step, but what if he sees through it? He's arrogant, overconfident. That's his weakness, Liam said. Stick to the plan, stay calm. I nodded, swallowing hard. Okay, let's do it. Sophie arrived, her expression serious. Everything's set. The Henderson files, the timestamps, the edits, they're ready. Once you confront him, it's all undeniable. I ran a hand through my hair. Are you sure about this? There's no going back. I know, she said, but it's the only way. I took a deep breath. All right, let's begin. We headed to the office. Ethan was already there, talking to a client, his charm on full display. I felt a surge of anger, but I forced myself to stay calm. Ethan, I said, stepping forward. His smile faltered for just a moment. Ah, you're here, he said smoothly. What's this about? Let's cut the act, I said. I know what you've been doing. Emails, meetings, editing files. You've been impersonating me. He raised an eyebrow. Impersonating? You mean helping? I think you're overreacting. I felt my jaw tighten. Overreacting? Sophie has logs, timestamps, IP addresses, edits, everything. And you're about to see it all. Sophie stepped forward, holding her tablet. Here, the proof. All the edits you made pretending to be him. Every unauthorized login. Every file you touched. Ethan's eyes flickered toward the screen. For a split second, his confident mask wavered. You think this matters? It matters, I said, voice firm. You've been living as me, manipulating my work, my clients, my wife. And now it ends. He laughed low and tense. You think this proves anything? People will still trust me over you. They like me, not you. I leaned in, calm now, precise. That stops today. Everyone sees this. Your manipulations, your lies, they're public. You've underestimated me. Sophie tapped the screen. All the evidence is here. IP addresses match you. Emails you sent pretending to be him. It's airtight. Ethan swallowed. Finally. I saw it. Just a flicker, but it was there. Fear. Real fear. You can't. Yes, I can, I said. And I will. You've toyed with my life for 10 years. That ends now. He opened his mouth again, hesitated, then closed it. I could see the cracks forming, the first real uncertainty in his eyes. The client looked back and forth, confused. Is everything okay? Yes, I said. Just internal issues. Being resolved. I turned to Sophie. Good work. You did this perfectly. She nodded, eyes bright but serious. We're not done yet, but this is the first step. I exhaled slowly, feeling a mix of adrenaline and relief. For the first time in years, I had the upper hand. Ethan's arrogance had finally betrayed him. Liam's voice buzzed in my ear. How's it looking? Better than I expected, I said. He's cracking, just like you said. Now we keep pressure, but carefully. Exactly, Liam said. One step at a time. Don't lose focus. I looked at Ethan, his mask slipping further with each second. My life, my identity, my marriage, everything had been a battlefield. And now, finally, I had leverage. I realized I was no longer the man who had watched helplessly as his twin stole his life. I was the one in control, and this was only the beginning. I entered the office early, coffee in hand, heart hammering. Today, Ethan would see the consequences of his actions. I had carefully shared the logs, emails, and timestamps with HR, our team, and Sophie. The chain was airtight. Morning, Emily said softly, appearing beside me. Her eyes were red, tired but sharp. I saw the emails. I can't believe it. I nodded. It's okay. You're not to blame. She shook her head. I should have noticed. I trusted him. You're not alone, I said. He was convincing, subtle. Even I didn't see the full extent until recently. Her hand touched mine briefly. I'm just angry and sad at the same time. I squeezed it lightly. I know. Me too. The office doors opened, and Ethan strode in, all confidence, until he saw the assembled faces, the serious expressions. His smile faltered. Everyone here? I asked calm. I hope you have a moment. He looked around, tense. What's this about? Are you trying to ambush me? No ambush, I said. Just the truth. You've been living as me. Emails, meetings, files, even communications with Emily. It's all documented. He laughed, a sharp, nervous sound. You can't be serious. You think this is going to ruin me? I held up my tablet. Sophie compiled everything. Logs, timestamps, edits. Every manipulation you've done. Every time you pretended to be me. Ethan's jaw tightened. You've been spying. Observing, I corrected. And now the results are public. HR has them. Everyone who matters has them. Your games are over. A quiet murmur ran through the room. Colleagues glanced at him, shocked, betrayed. Ethan's confident posture began to crumble. You don't understand, he said, voice low, almost pleading. I only did it to help. You were distracted. I was trying to keep everything afloat. Help, I repeated, voice flat. Manipulating my life, controlling my marriage, undermining my work. That's your idea of help. Emily stepped forward, voice trembling. Ethan, I believed in you, or at least, I thought I knew you. But all of this, it's wrong. It's betrayal. His eyes darted between me and her. Emily, no, she said firmly. I can't listen to excuses anymore. The evidence is here, and it's undeniable. Ethan swallowed. I could see the fear now, the first real vulnerability. He tried to regain control, but the room's silence spoke louder than any argument. You think you're clever, I said quietly, but every lie, every manipulation, it's unraveled. And now, you face the consequences. He looked down, defeated. I didn't mean. I thought. Save it, I said. Your time is over. 10 years of stealing my life, my identity, my wife, it's done. I watched him slump, shoulders heavy, the mask of arrogance shattered. Emily's hand found mine again. I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner, she whispered. You're not, I said. He's the one who hid it. You weren't supposed to notice. The room remained tense, Ethan's usual bravado replaced with shame and regret. I felt a strange mix of satisfaction and lingering pain. 10 years of manipulation, betrayal, and emotional theft, all finally exposed. And yet, even as triumph coursed through me, I felt the cost. Trust broken, scars deep, relationships tested. Victory had a bitter edge. Ethan spoke again quietly. I never meant to hurt you, anyone. I thought it was the right way. Thought. I echoed, voice low. You thought wrong. You're responsible. And now you see what that costs. I exhaled, turning to Emily. We rebuild. Slowly. Carefully. And he will be dealt with properly. She nodded, tears brimming, but determination in her eyes. We'll get through this together. I realized then that reclaiming my life wasn't just about exposing him. It was about understanding trust, boundaries, and the depth of human manipulation. Karma had arrived, finally, and for the first time in years, I felt in control of my own life again. I walked into the office that morning with a strange mix of relief and lingering tension. Ethan's name wasn't whispered anymore. His chair was empty, his computer cleared, his presence erased. Yet the echoes of what he'd done lingered, like a shadow I couldn't fully shake. Emily approached, holding 2 coffees. Morning, she said softly. Ready for another day? I smiled faintly, taking one. Yeah, another day of normal, I guess. She looked at me, eyes serious. I know it's not that simple. I've been thinking a lot about everything. It must me not noticing. Emily, I said, taking her hand, it's not your fault. You couldn't have seen it. He was meticulous, and you still believed in me, even if it was shaken. She gave a small, tired smile. I want to rebuild. Slowly. Carefully. Can we? I nodded. We can. But it has to be honest, every step. No illusions this time. She sipped her coffee. I like that. Honesty. Even if it's painful. We walked toward my office, and I paused at the door. My old journal sat on the shelf, dusty and forgotten. I pulled it down, flipping through pages filled with ideas, plans, dreams, my life before Ethan's interference. I felt a quiet satisfaction reclaiming it. You're smiling, Emily said. I'm just reclaiming this, I said, holding the journal close. It's a symbol. My thoughts, my life. Not his, not manipulated. Mine. She nodded, eyes glistening. Good. You deserve that. Later, I met with Sophie in the lounge. Everything stabilized? I asked. Yes, she said. HR handled Ethan's exit. Clients are aware. And your work, it's yours again, no question. Thanks, I said. I couldn't have done it without you. She shrugged, smiling faintly. You did most of the heavy lifting. I just provided the logs. I chuckled softly. Logs saved my life, honestly. She laughed, and it felt like relief. Glad you see it that way. I called Liam afterward. It's over. He's gone. Finally. You sound calmer, he said. How's it feel? Strange, I admitted. Vindicating, yes. But also empty a little. 10 years of manipulation, betrayal, gone. And yet it leaves scars. That's normal, Liam said. Scars mean you survived. And they remind you what to protect. I guess, I said. I've learned about patience, planning, and trusting carefully. Not blindly. Exactly, he said. And you're stronger for it. I hung up, taking a deep breath. I realized the office, the journal, the reclaimed files, they weren't just symbols of revenge or proof. They were my life, rebuilt carefully from the ruins Ethan left behind. Emily joined me again, placing a hand on my shoulder. You look lighter. Is it finally over? For now, I said. We'll have to be cautious, but it's over. I've taken back control. She smiled, leaning close. Good. And I want to stay with you in this. No shadows, no illusions. I nodded, feeling the weight lift slightly. No shadows. Only us. Carefully, honestly. Later, I sat in my office, journal open. I wrote a few lines, thoughts about trust, identity, resilience. Each word felt like reclaiming a part of myself stolen by Ethan. I glanced at the empty chair across from me, thinking of him, of what he'd lost. Karma had its way. His arrogance and manipulation had left him isolated, exposed. I felt no joy in his suffering, only relief that balance was restored. Emily peeked in, writing something, just reclaiming my life, I said, and making sure I never forget what I've learned. She smiled and left quietly. I sat alone for a moment, turning the pages of my journal, feeling stronger, wary but hopeful. I had survived betrayal, reclaimed my life, and learned that identity and trust were treasures to guard fiercely. The future felt uncertain, yes, but mine to shape. And for the first time in 10 years, I felt fully me.